what a beauty day for some bass fishing. I'm on a really small lake here in Dallas. As you guys can see right here, the wind's not exactly blowing from a long distance and there's white caps all over this lake. Today's not exactly the best day on paper to go fishing, but there's always ways to get out of the wind right there. Look at that, doesn't that just look beautiful? We have sustained like 25-mile-per-hour winds today, gusting to 30, but there's some creek arms we can hide in, and we are going to do a little bit of an MTB challenge today. This month's box had a lot of great flipping baits, a lot of great springtime bass fishing baits. I'm gonna get out of the damn wind so you guys can actually hear me, and we're gonna get started. All right, a little bit better over here. What a difference little spit of land makes. I mean, look at the wind just ripping across that point. Most of the main lake areas I did want to fish are going to be completely blown out today. Not that it's not too windy for the fish to be in there, it's just turning the water to chocolate milk. But here's what we got going on in the mystery tackle box for this month, and this is what I'm going to try to catch a bass on every single bait today. There's more than 4 baits, I don't know why I counted to 4. I cheated, I have already opened it. Swim bait. Might be the most difficult because of the watercolor. Ketchco crankbait, which is called the Runt. On the back you can see it says, he may be small, but he sure is feisty. It's just a wake bait. Might be able to catch fish on today, but here's the bread and butter for the day, the bread and butter for spring bass fishing. Ketchco flipping jig, 3/8 ounce. That's a done deal. Ketchco saw craw. Beautiful little craw bait, nice color. It's gonna be dark, fish will be able to see this. It's Texas craw color. Never used this yet, but that looks like a dynamite craw full with a lot of action. Here we have some Smart Baits Brute. It just looks like a little creature bait right there. I'll be able to knock that one off as well. Strike King Rage Tail, you guys already know. This is the Rage Lizard springtime. Then you got some pegs if you want to Texas rig any of these 3 baits. Here you have some brush bands, as you can see on the back. It shows you how to use them, and all it does is it splits the brush guard, reduces snags, increases hookups, all of that good stuff. As I have now drifted into the bushes, that's what we got to try to catch bass on today. I think I'm just going to start with the jig and then put like the little craw trailer on. I can honestly probably use the jig and have all those soft plastics be trailers, and then that's an easy way to knock them out. I'm on Lake Arlington today here in Dallas, and what I'm about to show you guys, this is what this lake is kind of famous for, to my knowledge. I know a lot of people live in the area. It's not their favorite lake in the world because look at this. It's actually kind of sad. The lake is just absolutely filled with trash and garbage. I mean, it's in the middle of DFW, the giant metro area, and I mean, everywhere you're going to go on the bank, you're going to find trash like that. It's honestly pretty sad, but there is a lot of bass in here and some big ones too. So I'm going to put those Ketchco and MTB baits to work. Hopefully get a big one for you guys. Ooh, this craw looks juicy. Nice action in those claws, I can already tell. We're gonna split those apart to give the craw more action. Rip it down a little bit so it works better as a trailer. Look at that, it's even color coordinated. How about that? All right, and away we go. Want to send a huge thank you to Mr. Tacklebox for not only sponsoring this video, but being a longtime supporter of my channel and myself. If you guys have been living under a rock and not tried Mr. Tacklebox yet, I would love for you guys to try it and use my promo code, which is just my name, Chris, C-H-R-I-S. That way you get $10 off your first box. I will leave all the information for that in the description down below. The water's still up a little bit, so I'm hoping they're gonna be up in these bushes. I fished this lake once last year with Perrick, and we did pretty good. Caught a couple 5-6 pounders just doing this, like going down the bank, flipping the bushes, typical springtime stuff. It's really windy today, but along with that wind is a really warm air. It's gonna get to 80 degrees today and sunny. I don't think it's been 80 degrees here in a very long time, so hopefully these fish react very well to that warm weather and get up shallow, ready to eat. Pretty sure I just missed my first bite there. I'm getting a really strong hint of diaper. I'm not sure if that's the right word for it, but it doesn't smell good back here. I think a lot of this garbage is fresh from the floods and it is now rotting. There's one. Yes. All right. Jig done. He didn't even really bite it. He just kind of latched on. Okay, only took about a half hour and we got our first flip fish right in the roof of the mouth. Thank you, jig. Thank you, saw craw. See, kind of a disgusting lake, but pretty fish. This is what I assume to be a little male. You can see he's kind of beat up a little bit right there. I think that might have been his bed in the bush. Maybe his bed, maybe he's just guarding. All I know is I just knocked off the jig and the saw craw. So now what do we have next? What do we have next on our list? Just gonna put another trailer on here. Let's try these smart baits. Little creature bait right here. because I know the Strike King's gonna, oh, this is gonna catch him for sure. It's a perfect size trailer too. All right, 2 down. I'm actually gonna add this too because I realized I really should have added this to the jig. It is part of the slam, so I definitely gotta add that. All right, we're improved a little bit. We got our brush guide on there. We got our Smart Baits Brute. I'm not gonna say it again because it is going to get very repetitive, but it like really shocks me how much garbage there is here. Like all just everywhere. Looks like it's just been here for years. And it's not like I don't want you guys to get the wrong impression. This is not like a Dallas thing. This is only this lake. Now, if you notice, I caught that fish right pretty much at the base of this bush, and that's where they're gonna be making their beds, right at the bases of the bush, right where all the hard roots are. That's where they're gonna be laying their eggs. So they're not so much gonna be like right here on the edges. During the spawn, they're gonna be right, oh, hit the bush there. That was a great example. They're gonna be right there. Not quite there, but you guys get the idea. Closer right to the heart of the bush. That's where you wanna be this time of year. Oh, look at this, guys. There's a giant gar. Almost thought that was a 10-pound bass for a second. It got my heart beating. There's tons of gar in here. There's turtles everywhere. Maybe there's another bass or two in here. Oh, look at, there's freaking huge gar everywhere. I could snag them super easily if I wanted. This is like a bow fisherman's paradise in here. All these gar are really big. If I was just looking to do some bow fishing, this is the perfect spot for them. There's like really big gar everywhere, and they're right on the surface sunning, so they would be very easy targets. I mean, if you can get 5 yards from him right on the bush and he doesn't even move, I would hope you'd be able to get him. Shocking moment right now. I believe I see, what is a bed next to a car seat. Nope, that wasn't a bed. That was just another piece of garbage, which is next to a car seat. Oh my God. This area is even worse. Blows my mind. No wonder why the fishing sucks right now. Yeah, you think in the springtime, oh look, I see a light spot right up on the bank. It must be a bed. No, that's what looks to be like an old table. So I was wrong. That's pretty much it for the good bushwater. I honest to God expected to be able to catch at least like 5 or 6 fish flipping all these bushes. That has not been the case. I've caught 1 fish, maybe had 2 bites, but it's been very, 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 very poor. So I'm gonna try to go to these main lake areas that I know are better and should hold more fish, but I'm not expecting to be able to fish those very effectively at all. So I'm gonna try, show you guys actually how windy it is on that main lake. Try not to get my boat blown into some bushes. And then, I mean, if I can't do that, then I'm gonna have to switch lakes to try to continue the challenge. So I just did something extremely dumb. That boat right there might have just saved my life, to be quite honest with you guys. As you can see, I'm absolutely soaking wet. What happened was, I was gonna switch lakes. I tied up to the dock over there, and I went back to my car. This is like, honestly, I've been the worst 10-15 minutes of my entire life. Got back to my car, somebody slashed my tire. My one tire is like complete, like rimmed to the ground, like really bad. Never had that happen before in my entire life. Wow, I'm so dizzy right now. So I'm spending like 5 minutes at the car trying to get that like figured out. I think a goddamn ambulance is coming now to get me. That's fucking sweet. So I realized my tire's slashed. I'm dealing with that. Spent way too much time there. Usually I tie the boat up, go get the car quick. The boat's not roped up for more than a minute. But with these extreme winds, my rope knot came undone and the boat was floating away. So like, oh damn it, there's people fishing at the pier. I'm like, well, this sucks, so I gotta do it. I jumped in the water. The water's 57. And like, it was freezing. It was a shock at first, and I was swimming. I swam for like a good minute. And then I realized I was not gonna catch up to the boat. Like, I wasn't gonna catch up to it. I was just gonna keep swimming more and more out in the lake in bigger waves. In the very last buoy over there, I got close to the buoy and I stopped on the buoy. And I grabbed onto it and I was like yelling at the people on the dock that watched me jump off and I was talking to. And I just yelled, help, I can't make it. That boat that just saved me, they were having troubles at the pier. couldn't get their boat started. So I like yelled out like, if they can get it started, if they can get to me and it can't like get fixed again, my boat works, like I can go back. So basically I was like, I'm completely out of breath, I'm like really dizzy, like my clothes were so baggy, like they were weighing me down. That really scared the hell out of me. I was thinking, like, as I was swimming to the boat, I was like, oh my God, like this is how people die, like this is how people drown. This was the dumbest decision. I was pissed as hell that my tire got slashed. I wasn't thinking right, and I just jumped in the water. Like if there wasn't another boat around, nobody's gonna come jump in the water to get me in those dangerous conditions. Who would have known how much I would have, who knows how long I would have had to sit on that buoy. That was so dumb. Now my car, all my doors are still open. I gotta go show you guys the tire. Holy shit. At least I'm okay, at least I'm fine. So there's a fire rescue. I'm like really dizzy, I need to sit down for a second. There's my slashed tire, the reason I made that dumb mistake in the first place. I mean, it's like, the tire was completely fine, and it is just totally screwed. I'm gonna change clothes and sit down for a second, because I'm like dizzy, I have a headache. So this has been about a 2-hour ordeal. One of the most frustrating, like crazy experiences of my entire life. Like just the wheel, like forget the fact that I had to get rescued out on the lake and potentially could have died out there. These last 2 hours, 2 incredible gentlemen helped me. Ramino, who just brought the jack over, and Paul. Paul, you saved my life today. So what happened was, we were messing with this tire underneath here. There's the spare tire. We were messing with it for, like, I was messing for it with 45 minutes, and I was pretty damn clueless. Paul came over here and saw that I was a little clueless. He has one of these, you have a GMC truck, right? He has a Chevy truck as well, so he kind of knows how these spares go. But you see, my truck's not from Texas. My truck is from Illinois. We have what's called rust on our trucks, and they're from 2003. And that wheel, like that whole the drop-down assembly was just terribly rusted. It was not coming down at all. So we basically got to the point where we brought the, we took a jack, we brought the tire up, we filled up with a little bit of air. We wanted to see how bad the flat was. And there was like a really good puncture in it, and the air was just ripping out, like really bad. So Paul was kind enough to drive me to a discount tire, a good, like, it was only like a mile and a half away. Bought a new tire, and we should be good now. My boat has not floated away. This has been just an absolute whirlwind of a day, but you always got to stay positive and pay it forward and help people in need, right, Paul?
That's right, that's right.
That's right. That's the one thing to take away from the day. I could have sobbed, sulked, quit, like I could have done a bunch of stuff, but there's always kind people in this world that are willing to help you out. Anytime you see someone like struggling with anything, definitely be sure to pass it on, pay it forward, and try to help them out to the best of your abilities, and it will come back around. The disasters are over, it's all over. The boat's on the trailer, the car is working fine, but I wasn't gonna leave Lake Arlington quite yet without something else going wrong. I think I need to just like lock myself in a room for 24 hours and not come out. Like, there is so much line caked on my motor right now. I somehow got this bobber and all this super thick line around my prop in the last, oh, it's all coming out at least. No, not really. That happened in the like 10-15 yard boat ride from the dock to my boat. So I think it's just not my day, and we're gonna go back to the house and just hide in a room and do nothing, touch nothing, so nothing can go wrong the rest of the day. Bella, are you happy I survived? You happy I survived? I realized on that day I did a very poor job of updating you after I turned the camera off of the boat ramp. I basically just got back to the Guggen house, talked with Flair and Justin about the day I had, and then that was kind of it. Now, I don't want you guys to think I'm making this video as like, oh, like poor me. I don't want you guys to think I'm complaining. I do want to bring a little light to the situation because I think there's things to learn from this day, and there's things I definitely learned. Number one, something I have to clear up because I didn't really say it in the moment when I was on the boat, so scatterbrained. When I originally jumped off the pier, my boat was maybe only 15-20 yards away from the pier. I've had to jump and get my boat before, but it was different. You know, it was summertime, the water was warmer, there wasn't like gale force winds blowing the boat away, and I jumped, I swam for the longest time, I exhausted myself. I thought I could catch up with the boat, and I'm not Michael Phelps. I learned that very quickly. It's not that I felt invincible, but you know, I'm on the water so much for so many years of my life, and I've never really had anything bad happen to me. You never really think that it can happen to you. And I was sitting on that buoy bobbing around, like seeing triple everything, like freezing cold. I was like, wow, this is me right now. I made a really, really dumb mistake, and this can't happen to me. This can't happen to anyone, especially when you're not using common sense. So that's all I want to relay to you guys from that. Just use common sense. It's boating, it's fishing. Bad things can happen at any moment. I was not using the best judgment in the slightest. I should have just looked at the pier, saw the boat was floating away really fast. I literally just got to the pier, like immediately like threw my valuables out, put them on the pier, and jumped. I didn't even think, because in my head I was like, oh, well, you know what? The longer I wait, the more the boat's going to float away. It's like, yeah, well, if you also jump in and can't get to it, then what's going to happen, idiot? I was really lucky and blessed. I had so many people there willing to help me. And then the car situation as well. Like those two gentlemen helped me so much. I was so grateful for the help I received that day. It really just showed me again the beauty of people, that there's always people out there waiting to help. And if you ever see someone in need, you know, just pay it forward, help in any way you possibly can, because it will come around. I was so incredibly blessed to have the help of so many people that day. It was definitely a dangerous situation. My life could have been in danger. Like I could have passed out in that water if given enough time. You never know what could have happened, so I'm very glad I'm safe, and I definitely learned from the situation to use my damn common sense on the water. Now it's just about a week later. I am at home in Chicago. I have one more Texas bass fishing video for you guys, but I've been bass fishing a really long time now, the last couple weeks. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit. The north is just starting to warm up. All the ice is freezing, and there's plenty of good bites to be had. I'm meeting up with a couple buddies from college in a couple days, and we're going to do some river fishing. It's just going to be a very fun time the next couple weeks now that the north is finally warming up. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your time, and stay tuned for the next couple videos.